It's drizzling, but it's baseball. It's Game 2 of the regular season. From Philadelphia, the Red Sox and the Philadelphia Phillies. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo along with Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, the Red Sox couldn't have done much better on opening day. They do tweak the lineup a little bit tonight, and Mike Napoli gets a start at first base.
Well, here's a guy that couldn't wait for last season to end because he had all kind of physical problems last year for the Boston Red Sox. First of all, the sleep apnea, which was taken care of in the offseason. He had the bad finger that he had to tape all season long, which stripped him of some power. When you look at the numbers from a year ago, you can see the total of 17 home runs for him. He had 6 this spring and looked outstanding down in spring training. Now, you don't put a lot in the spring training numbers, but he looked like a different guy. A guy that had gotten his strength back, his swing back, and, of course, again, playing very good defense at first base. Did not get the start on opening day. David Ortiz did. He did get into the ball game, but now gets his first start of the season.
Also a change in lineup tonight. We will see Daniel Nava in right field. Shane Victorino starts the night on the bench. Well, the Red Sox brought their bats with them on Monday. Couldn't have gone any better. The Red Sox hitting 5 home runs. This group combined to get it done. They'll try to do it again tonight. The Red Sox and Phillies are coming your way next. Experience the all-new Audi A3 today. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. Toyota's website for deals, via Toyota.com. DraftKings. Mitsubishi Motors invites you to find your own lane. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at Southwest.com. It is definitely colder than it was here on Monday. A chilly night from Citizens Bank Ballpark in Philadelphia. Red Sox and Phillies getting ready for Game 2 of the series. And let's check out the weather report, which is brought to you by Benjamin Moore. 43 degrees with a wind direction at 13 miles per hour. And the forecast is for rain showers throughout the night. It's kind of misting right now, and that's been the case for most of the day here in Philadelphia. As Rick Porcello about to make his Red Sox debut after signing the big lengthy contract with the Red Sox on the off day, and he is ready to go here tonight. Certainly excited to get his career underway in a Red Sox uniform. And Jerry, we talked about it. It couldn't have gone any better on Monday for the Red Sox on opening day, answering some questions right out of the gate.
No, when you think of the perfect game, you think about hitting, you think about defense, and you think about pitching. And the Red Sox obviously had all 3 of those working for them on opening day. Hanley Ramirez, a huge part of that for the Red Sox with a couple of home runs, along with Dustin Pedroia and Mookie Betts, and just a great all-around performance, and one that you can sit down and enjoy on the off day. Now it's back into a regular routine on a much different kind of night tonight, a very cold and windy night here in Philadelphia.
Well, tonight's Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. On Monday, the Sox hit 5 home runs, something they failed to accomplish all of last season. Last year, there were 25 games when a team hit 5 or more home runs, and their record was 24-1 in those games. Able to accomplish something they did not do all of last year. They'll try to keep it going tonight as the Philadelphia Phillies have taken the field tonight here at Citizens Bank Park. As they do, let's check out the Red Sox starting lineup, brought to you by your Eastern Hyundai dealers. Mookie Betts leading it off again in center field for Boston, with Dustin Pedroia at second base, batting second. Pablo Sandoval at third base, with Hanley Ramirez in left in the cleanup spot. Big Papi on the bench to begin the game, with Mike Napoli at first base. Daniel Nava in right field, getting his first start of the year. It's Victorino on the bench to start the game. Ryan Hannigan does the catching again, with Xander Bogaerts at shortstop batting eighth, and Rick Porcello, the pitcher, bats in the 9th spot. On the mound tonight, presented to you by New England Nissan dealers, is Aaron Harang, who last year as a member of the Atlanta Braves made 33 starts and finished with an individual record of 500 at 12-12 with 3.57 earned run average. Did log 161 Ks and pitched over 200 innings at 204 1/3 in 5 starts against the Red Sox, 2-2 with a 5.08 ERA.
Now, tonight's Phillies defense is brought to you by DraftKings, and it'll be Cody Ashley at third base, Freddie Galvis the shortstop, Chase Utley at second, and Brian Howard the first baseman. Left to right, Darren Ruff, Ben Revere, and Jeff Francoeur gets the start tonight. And Carlos Ruiz once again behind the plate for the Phillies, catching Harang.
Well, the umpiring crew, Phil Cuzzy has the play calling the balls and strikes, with Tony Randazzo at first base, Will Little at second, and the crew chief, Jerry Davis, the umpire, at third. Now, after the off day yesterday, back at it for game 2 of this 3-game series. One left to play here tomorrow night before the Red Sox head off for Yankee Stadium and the Bronx. Mookie Betts, 52 games last year, hitting at .291 with 5 homers and 18 runs batted in. 2-for-4 with a home run on Monday in the first game of the season. Aaron Harang ready to work here to Betts, Pedroia, and Sandoval in the first inning. First pitch of the ball game is going to miss for ball 1 and 1 underway. Mookie Betts getting the season off in fine fashion on Monday with this home run. 1 of 5 home runs for the Red Sox on Monday, as he takes the high strike, and it evens at 1 and 1.
Harang in his career has made 5 appearances against the Red Sox. He's 2-2 with a 5.08 ERA against Boston teams.
Now a fly ball out towards deep left field. Darren Ruff going back. This will take him to the edge of the track for out number 1. Not tonight. A little different weather conditions, although the wind is blowing pretty hard from right to left, but certainly not the way it was here on Monday from a comfort standpoint weather-wise.
Now, that was good, solid contact by Betts, and there's no question that wind knocked it down a little bit, because the ball travels very well in this ballpark unless it's cold and windy like it is tonight.
One down for Dustin Pedroia, who takes a strike over the outside corner. Pedroia with his 2 home run performance on Monday. Had only 7 home runs last year, but certainly not healthy. He is in 2015. Slaps it foul off to the right. We get a look at both of them from Monday.
Both home runs Pedroia hit on Monday were on inside fastballs, and both times those pitches were supposed to be away. They made a mistake. They came inside, and Pedroia cleaned them out.
A lot more gear on tonight for players, as it is much colder here tonight, and Pablo Sandoval waits on deck with 1 out in the first. As Pedroia takes a look at a ball, evens up now at 2-2. Close pitch.
I never liked that as a player, where you had to wear all this extra clothing to stay warm. I mean, you're just not used to it. You come out of spring training, and then you get up north, and all of a sudden you're all bundled up. You kind of feel constricted in many ways.
Well, Pedroia strikes out looking. Harang picks up the outside corner that time. 2 down.
Little two-seam fastball that time from Harang that starts out away and then two seams on the corner against Pedroia. And no argument from Dustin. Everything in that at bat away from Pedroia. So they have made an early adjustment on him.
2 down here in the first inning for Pablo Sandoval. Still looking for his first hit in a Red Sox uniform. He's 0 for 5 on opening day as he takes strike 1. Familiar for him to start in a National League ballpark to begin the year. Slaps it foul down the left field line and is down 0-2. Crowd not as large here as it was on opening day. Figured it wouldn't be for game 2, but it is chilly in Philly tonight.
You know, I bet a lot of seats were purchased for this game, but a lot of people did not show up because of these conditions.
Sandoval grounds it foul. Yeah, earlier in the week they were talking about a lot of rain here tonight. That has changed for the most part. It's supposed to be kind of like this all night, just kind of misting and windy and raw. Sandoval battling. He'll see his 6th pitch as he fouls it back.
Ortiz out of the lineup, and Sandoval moved up to that 3 spot. Hanley Ramirez remains in the cleanup spot.
Swing and a miss. That one's by him. Back-to-back strikeouts for Harang. A 1-2-3 first. The Phillies are coming up. Starting lineup brought to you by Chevy. Ben Revere leading it off in center field with Carlos Ruiz doing the catching. Chase Utley at second base with Ryan Howard back at first base. Darren Ruff getting his first start of the season. Cody Ashley at third base with Jeff Francoeur, the veteran, in right field batting 7th. Freddie Galvis, the shortstop, bats 8th, and Aaron Harang, the pitcher, in the number 9 spot. Now tonight's Red Sox starting pitcher presented by your local New England Audi dealers. Experience the all-new Audi A3 today. 15 victories last year for Rick Porcello. Of course, behind some greats like Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander, but 32 appearances, 31 starts, a 3.43 earned run average, and up over 200 innings. His road record last year, a 9-game winner. Away from Comerica Park in Detroit, 9-6 with a 2.66 earned run average. Red Sox debut. Coming over from the Tigers for Yoenis Cespedes. This is on the ground foul outside of third.
Now, one thing, when you watch Porcello pitch, you're going to know that if he's on, he's getting ground ball outs. He's certainly a sinker ball type pitcher that should keep his infielders very busy.
Signed a 40-year contract extension through 2019 on Monday. Takes all the questions away from what was left of just a one-year deal this year with the Red Sox, and now that bit of business has been taken care of. Ground ball right side at Pedroia for the first out here at the bottom of the first inning.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It is Pablo Sandoval at third base. Xander Bogaerts the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second. And Mike Napoli the first baseman. Left to right, Hanley Ramirez, Mookie Betts, and Daniel Nava gets the start tonight. Ryan Hannigan once again behind the plate catching Porcello.
Mike Napoli got into the game on Monday, but gets the start here tonight. Trying to figure out what was going to work here for the Red Sox in the 3-game series. David Ortiz started game 1. It's Napoli game 2. Plan on David Ortiz most likely back in there tomorrow night and at first base. The Phillies catcher Carlos Ruiz bats with 1 out. Last year, 252 in 110 games. He was 0 for 4 on Monday. It was his 7th opening day start for the Phillies.
Well, the question becomes, in weather like this, who has the advantage? Pitcher, offense, and I've always felt pitcher because they're moving the most. The one problem pitchers have.
This is by the dive of Pedroia into right field. Ruiz with an opposite field base hit.
I've always felt the one problem pitchers have in cold weather is their breaking ball. It's tough to get a grip on a breaking ball, whether it be a curveball or a slider.
Ruiz with a base hit here. 1 out, 1 on. Chase Utley, the batter. 0 for 4 on Monday. Last year, healthy finally. Played in 155 games last year for the Phils, hitting at .270. A 3-4 combination here for the Phillies has been together for a long time, with Utley followed by Howard. Of course, the Phillies without another guy that has been here for a long time, and Jimmy Rollins hit a home run for the Dodgers in his Dodger debut. And Phillies looking a little bit different, but you still have the old school Utley and Howard as part of this lineup for the Phillies. On the ground right side, Pedroia going to try it, goes to second for 1. No return throw to first. They do get the lead runner in Ruiz, 2 down.
Once again now a couple of ground balls here in the first inning for Porcello. This time Pedroia had to go to his left quite a bit, and there's no way they were going to double up Chase Utley at first base. So Pedroia did not rush it. He just makes sure he gets that 1 at second base. No return throw from Bogaerts. You see Bogaerts looking down at that slide. That was a good slide at second base because he could make contact with the bag. Ruiz not coming out of the baseline to get Bogaerts.
So 2 down, Utley at first base. Ryan Howard the batter, and a check on Utley quickly at first, who's back to the bag. The Pasadena, California native gaining his lead once again. Ryan Howard will chop a big hop to first base that Napoli backpedals to the bag. Porcello is through his first inning in a Red Sox uniform. No score from Philly. MidSouthwest.com. Back at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia as we get ready for the top of the second inning. And what a start for Hanley Ramirez back with his old club, the Red Sox, on Monday. Not one, but 2 home runs, including a grand slam that put the game out of reach. Quite a day for him. Some unfinished business in a Red Sox uniform. And a chance to finish it out as he has started off very well and ready for game 2 of the regular season. 2 for 4, both home runs on Monday. 283 last year, had 13 home runs all season long, 128 games with the Dodgers. And a swing and a miss for strike 1. So always enjoyed facing Aaron Harang, part of our key matchup brought to you by Honda. Start something special with a great deal on a Honda. A career .345 hitter against Harang. Includes 5 home runs on his resume.
Now, Harang's a guy that's been around a long time with a lot of teams. The A's, the Reds, the Padres, the Dodgers, the Mariners, the Mets, and last year the Braves.
Red Sox saw him last year in Atlanta as the pitch misses down and away.
He'll throw that fastball, the cut fastball, a changeup, and a breaking ball, the curveball.
Career record 2-3 against Boston with a 5.08 earned run average. Picks up the corner, and it's 2-2.
And they have basically tried to stay away from most of these Red Sox hitters this first time around.
And you saw what they did on Monday.
Exactly. They turned around that inside stuff.
Swing and a miss, able to strike out Hanley Ramirez. That's 3 Ks in a row now for Harang.
Harang not really known as a strikeout pitcher, but this time he goes to that slider, it looks like, to pick up the strikeout. It's either a slider or a cutter. Very little movement, late movement right at the end.
So he's retired the first 4 Red Sox that he's faced on the night. 1 down for Mike Napoli, getting his first start of the year. And Napoli takes a strike, and again Harang staying away. Great spring for Napoli. 6 home runs during the spring, and starting his 10th major league season, 3rd as a member of the Red Sox. Under 19 games last year. Various injuries throughout the year. But battling through it all. And none bigger than the successful surgery to help his sleep apnea. Actually fracturing his jaw to fix the situation. Two balls, 2 strikes to Napoli. Daniel Nava waiting on deck. Both Napoli and Nava, guys who like to see a lot of pitches. Generally lengthy at bats. They're both getting their first start of the year. Strike over the outside corner for strike 3. 4 Ks in a row now for Harang. 2 down.
Yeah, most of them have come with fastballs, with the exception of the one Hanley Ramirez. Again, they go outside with the fastball that's dropped by Ruiz, but it looked like he did have that outside corner.
Going to go back to 2006 when Harang led the National League in strikeouts with 216. And he's got 4 of them tonight to the first 5 batters he's faced in the game. Now Daniel Nava takes a look at strike 1. Then we saw Shane Victorino in a nice moment here on Monday return to Philadelphia. Last time the Red Sox were here against the Phillies, he was here but was not active in that series, and the crowd had a chance to salute him on Monday. Of course, champion here with the Phillies in 2008 was Shane Victorino, and on the bench to begin the ball game tonight. Foul foul to the screen, and Nava's down 1-2.
Yeah, as soon as I saw Victorino out of the lineup, especially after a day off, I asked Farrell and said, no, we're just trying to get everybody in there early the first couple of games to make sure they continue to get their at-bats from spring training. So Nava getting the start in place of Victorino tonight.
This time you get a couple of off days right out of the gate. Sunday was off, of course, the game Monday, and then the off day on Tuesday. In the air foul as we send it down to Gary Streisky.
Guys, yeah, piggybacking off of the Shane Victorino talk, John Farrell giving his veteran a little bit of love today. Obviously, they had the off day yesterday, so that's not what was the concern. It's simply the weather. It's cold outside. He didn't want Victorino out there, the back tightening up, the hamstrings tightening up, so he's kind of looking out for him, talking to Victorino. He says he's perfectly fine. Wasn't even precautionary or anything. It's just looking out for the weather situation.
On the ground, Utley on the broken back grounder, and it's a 1-2-3 second for Harang. A scoreless game from Philadelphia. So before you're a patient, you're a person. That Israel Deaconess, Human First. Learn more at bidmc.org/human first. Now tonight's league leaders are brought to you by the new Captain Morgan White Rum. Active walks per 9 innings leaders. And Rick Porcello getting in there in the 5 spot, 2.21. Dan Herron leading the way at 1.86. And Porcello threw his first inning in a Red Sox uniform, ready for inning number 2 and ready for Darren Ruff. 52 games last year for the Phillies, hitting at .235 with 3 homers. Was not in the game on Monday, and he'll take strike 1. Misting a little harder as you look up to the light towers here now in Philadelphia. The wind is ever present. Up over Porcello. Bogarts charging. A little stumble, but he gets it there at first base. Fancy footwork there to move around right in front of the bag at second. 1 away.
Well, we talked about early signs for Porcello, and those early signs are working out right now. The ground balls. Bogarts with a nice play. Look where he's playing. He's playing him to pull and has a long way to go to get there. 2 hands, and then the throw to first base to complete the out. Very nice play by Bogarts.
You know, we talked a little bit about Xander during the spring. Do you see a difference with him defensively so far?
I do, especially, you know, the way he's set up. I think he's got a little bit of better idea on the hitters.
Porcello reaches out, stabs that. Nicely done as he flips to first for out number 2. Nice snare himself.
Well, if you're going to induce ground balls, you got to be a good fielding pitcher, and that's what Porcello is. Falling off a little bit toward first base, but able to regroup and reach behind him, make the play, and get the out at first base.
Back to Bogarts for a minute. Can you teach range, or can you cheat a little bit?
Yes. No, you can learn how to know the hitters. And when you know the hitters, you know that you can position yourself a certain way. Know your pitching staff. Know what they're all about. know what the kind of stuff they have, and that'll determine how you position yourself. So yes, you can increase range. There's no question about that, and you can increase first step quickness as he did during the offseason. So for those who say you can't increase range, that's not correct.
Jeff Francoeur to the left. Hanley Ramirez coming in. He'll play it on a hop. And Jeff Francoeur, who'd not been in the majors in a couple of years, starting on opening day with Kansas City. First time since 2013. It's his first start this year in a Philadelphia Phillies uniform. Now, don't miss one of the last regular season games for the Brewers tomorrow as they visit the Florida Panthers for one last battle before the playoffs begin. Catch pregame at 7 with Dale and Billy Jaffe. And then the puck drop at 7:30 with Jack Edwards and Andy Brickley, all on NESN Plus. To find your NESN Plus channel, visit NESN.com/NESN Plus. 2 down here in the second. Francoeur at first. Freddie Galvis takes strike one.
How about Porcello's day on opening day? I mean, you don't even pitch and you sign a 4-year extension. Beautiful thing, isn't it?
Worked out great.
Woo.
There had been some reports that they would not be negotiating during the season. They would table it until the end of the year. Well, that changed in a hurry. And certainly, I would imagine for him, very good to have that out of the way.
It's amazing how quickly and how little time that he's been with this organization, and yet he elects to sign very quickly. So he's got to be impressed with what he's seen so far, and certainly we know the Red Sox are impressed with him.
And so are many of the scouts that I've talked to over this spring training. And when he is healthy, this guy could be the ace. I didn't hear a lot about him. Buried behind Scherzer, Verlander, and Price for part of last year. Late defensive swing by Galvis as it's fouled off. 5 ground ball outs so far. 2 outs here in the second inning. Galvis 0 for 3 on opening day. Napoli holding on Francoeur at first base. A little bit inside, and it evens at 2-2.
Tried that 2-seam fastball up and in that time on Galvis, and just missed inside. Got a couple of high strikes in the first inning.
This is the first time Porcello has ever faced the Phillies. Career best last year in wins with 15. 3.43 earned run average and innings 204 2/3. Worked out to be his final year with the Tigers. Career high 32 overall appearances. Grounded to first, off the glove of Napoli. Now Pedroia is going to throw to Napoli, who gets to the bag in time. So 3-4-3 on the putout of Galvis that wraps up the second inning through 2 from Chile Philly. We're without a score. twice the speed at half the cost. The HB Office Jet Pro X clocks in at 70 pages per minute. Get yours today for up to 50% off from who but WB Mason. Scoreless as we head to the top half of the third inning. Ryan Hannigan leads it off and takes strike one. Hannigan 1 for 3 on Monday. First 2 starts of the year, and last year as a member of the Rays in 84 games. Hitting at .218.
Well, the Red Sox get away with one here to end the second inning. Napoli quickly gets back to first base. So the pitcher Porcello forgot to go over and cover. So once the ball was deflected by Napoli to Pedroia, he had to get back to make the play.
And again now with Bogaerts waiting on deck. And then the pitcher spot, Rick Porcello, anticipated here in the third inning. Strike call, picking up that outside corner. And again, didn't agree.
It looks like Red Sox hitters are going to have to start looking for the ball away off Ryan, because that's pretty much where he's staying, on the outside part of the plate.
Has 4 strikeouts through the first 2 innings. And he's got another foul tipped into the catcher's mitt. 5 Ks for Harang. 1 down here in the third inning.
Once again going to the fastball. 4 of the 5 strikeouts in the ball game have been on the fastball. Now it's not an overpowering fastball, but the location has been excellent for him.
So 1 down here in the third. Xander Bogaerts 0 for 3 on opening day. Second opening day roster of his career. Last year playing 144 games and hitting at .240. DraftKings.com, the official fantasy partner of the Red Sox, giving out a pair of tickets to the Sox game on Patriots Day. Go to DraftKings.com/Nesson to play. To the screen foul. And Bogaerts down 1-2. Rick Porcello waiting on deck. And 1 out here in the top half of the third inning. Bob McClure, the pitching coach, looking on. Ryan Sandberg, the manager of this Phillies team, under a little bit of pressure to begin the year.
Sandberg, a very laid-back type of manager, does not get too excited. Some have criticized him for that.
That just misses. Called low, but pretty close.
But a lot of the criticism here in Philadelphia, if you take a look at that last pitch, has been really toward the front office. They have been very disappointed, the fans have, in some of the moves that they have made.
Left side, deep short, as a long throw for Galvis, dug out by Ryan Howard. In time to get Bogaerts. 2 down.
A nice scoop at first base by Ryan Howard. Freddie Galvis taking over at shortstop this year, showing range going to his right. Back on the outfield grass. It's going to go in the dirt, but there's the big fella at first base. And Harang loves that.
Yeah, Philadelphia, much like Boston, not into waiting around for a team to rebuild.
No.
I mean, that's not in their...
And they keep saying it's only going to be a couple of years.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about that.
At the same time, it appeared that Cole Hamels available during the offseason. Their closer, Jonathan Papelbon, certainly available during the offseason. They don't move either. Swing and a miss for Porcello, and he's down 0-2. And some of the comments from the front office that they may keep Hamels, because if they are going to build around anybody, you might as well have him at the top of your rotation. There are questions about the rest of the Phillies rotation. And Aaron Harang, so far so good tonight, the number 2 starter. $12-12 a year ago, the Atlanta Braves back in the National League again. And a swing and a miss. That's 6 strikeouts in the first 3 innings for Harang. We're scoreless through 2.5. Sox moment all season. Geico will highlight the 1975 Red Sox in honor of their 40th anniversary. In the second game of the 75 season, the Sox lost to the Brewers 7-4. Bill Lee went 6 1/3 innings, giving up 6 runs on 8 hits. And Dwight Evans went 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Well, John Farrell's edition of the Red Sox 1-0 coming into this second game, and drizzling a little harder here in Philadelphia. Rick Porcello threw his first 2 innings, 22 pitches deep into his outing. He's given up a pair of singles, but so far 6 ground ball outs. He will deal with the opposing pitcher in Aaron Harang to begin things here in the 3rd inning. Career .092 hitter, 622 career at bats for Harang. The hits for the Phillies: Carlos Ruiz in the 1st inning and Jeff Francoeur in the 2nd inning. Pretty customary to play the opposing pitcher the way the Red Sox are. Shallow in the outfield and from to go the other way. Betts to right center, Nava and Shallow in right. There is a strike right down the middle.
That's very common when you watch National League games to see that type of defense set up against just about every right-handed hitting pitcher that there is.
Follows it up with another strike, and it's 2-2. Porcello does not have a strikeout in this contest so far in the top of the order. Ben Revere waiting on deck. Now he does have a strikeout as he gets Harang 1 down.
It's a sinking fastball from Porcello, and Harang no contact. So Porcello picks up his first strikeout against the opposing pitcher.
1 down for Ben Revere. 2nd time through now. That's these Phillies hitters for Porcello. Ben Revere bounced out to Pedroia, second base in the 1st inning. In on the grass, as we saw on Monday, Jerry, Pablo Sandoval likes to play very shallow in the ground, and more than a couple steps. He's in.
As I mentioned, on Monday, the fact that he likes to take away his A game, and his A game is dropping a bunt down at 3rd base and force him into his B game, which is trying to slap the ball by him. And if you do, congratulate him on it. I mean, it's taking him out of his swing a little bit.
Tip your cap.
Yeah. But don't give him a freebie down there on a bunt.
Instead, a short fly ball. Bogart's going out, and comes Betts full bore to make the running catch. 2 down. Now, I want to remind you to visit Nesson on Facebook after the inning for a deeper look into Rick Porcello's decision to stay with the Red Sox. You can find the video and much more Red Sox coverage at facebook.com/Nesson. You'll want to check that out. Rick Porcello, a 4-year deal. We'll delve more into it. As Carlos Ruiz singled in the 1st inning, now bats with 2 outs. I think important as anything, Jerry, really the age of Porcello. Red Sox taking that into consideration, that you're getting him in his prime years.
Well, they have been very clear through the last couple of years that that's their intention. If they're going to sign people to long-term contracts, in particular pitchers, they're going to have to be with that within that range of a younger age.
2-0 pitch is a little bit low, and he falls behind 3-0.
And when you really look at it, and you look at some of the great pitches of the game, very few get past 34, 35, and they're the same as they were, when they were 29. Rare exceptions, very rare exceptions.
On the ground up over Porcello, who tumbles. This is going to be flagged down by Pedroia, but can do nothing with it. Porcello landed very awkwardly, tumbling on the mound after leaping in the air to try to get that. And it's a base hit for Ruiz, who's now 2 for 2. And Porcello is okay.
Now let's take a look and see what happened to Porcello. There's the contact, one big hop. And Pedroia going into the slide, but there's no play for him to make. Here's a look at Porcello from back. Oh, he just tripped on it, fell backwards. So he landed on the back part of his cleats and just could not hold his balance.
So a 2-out base hit for Ruiz, and it gives Chase Utley a chance to bat here in the home half of the 3rd inning. Oh for 5 to start the season is Chase Utley. This is line to center. Betts coming in, and he'll get there. 2 outfield assists in the inning for Betts. Scoreless after 3. Your banking and your day easier. See how at easternbank.com. Here, your first Eastern Bank. Scoreless as we head to the 4th inning. It is a breezy, rainy night. 43 degrees, 13 miles per hour. And more of the same expected throughout the night. Aaron Harang has been terrific so far. He's retired everybody that he has faced. 6 by way of the K. And he deals with Mookie Betts to open up this 4th inning.
That pitch has been pretty good for him too. The curveball. This time he starts Betts off with the curveball for a strike.
Last year's season high 11 strikeouts in 2014. April 23rd of last year against the Miami Marlins. He's got 6 through the first 3 innings tonight. Mookie Betts flying out to the warning track in left field first time up. Darren Ruff back there on the edge of the track last time. Play him about straight away. Strike called. He thought about it but couldn't pull the trigger. Betts up to the task on 2 running catches last inning. Now he sends one to left. Ruff is there and makes the catch below the cap high. Ace Ticket, the official Red Sox ticket partner, has the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway, including opening day, marathon weekend, and the Yankees. All the 200% guarantee. Treat yourself or someone special. Call 1-800-MY-SEATS or visit Ace Ticket. One out here in the fourth inning for Dustin Pedroia. Struck out looking in the first inning. Not waiting around this time and takes a hack and fouls it back.
Red Sox were out early this afternoon taking batting practice in these cold conditions to try to get used to it for game time. Early batting practice about 2 o'clock.
Fly ball out to right center field. Francoeur from right. Revere is there, but Francoeur, the right fielder, puts it away. 2 down. I want to remind you to follow the Red Sox all season in 2015 with MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com At Bat for your smartphone or tablet. 2 down here in the fourth inning. And Pablo Sandoval takes ball 1. Sandoval struck out swinging in the first inning. The inning continues. Hanley Ramirez would be next. There are 2 outs. Then Sandoval pops it up foul, off to the left out of play.
Looks like it's misting a little bit harder right now than it has all day.
Would you qualify this as a light rain yet or not yet?
Not yet. Give me a couple of minutes.
It has intensified. Foul tip and strike 2. And it's ready for the anticipated elements tonight. Like this all day. Line to center field, and Pablo Sandoval has his first hit in a Red Sox uniform. Had been 0 for 6 to begin the year, but a base hit here with 2 down, and after Harang had retired the first 11, the Red Sox have their first base runner.
Sandoval, see his hands, they get on top of that high fastball. I mean, that's a fastball that's up around the letters, but his hands get up above it so he can put that ball on the line instead of popping it up or flying out. Sandoval, you call him a good bad ball hitter. I mean, you know, this pitch is up in the zone, but he's able to get those hands up above it to put it on a line.
So now from the stretch for the first time tonight is Aaron Harang. As Hanley Ramirez grounds to first, and Howard tags the bag. He was out before he could get out of the box. Scoreless after 3.5 from Philadelphia. Watch how good things happen to local people at easternbank.com/goodthingshappen. Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, the site of Game 2 of the regular season for the Red Sox, and Phillies coming to bat here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Ryan Howard, who made the play defensively at first base, leads it off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Howard, Ruff, and Ashe 4, 5, and 6. Porcello has given up a single in each of the first 3 innings. And Howard punches at that for strike 1.
A change up that time for Porcello, 81 miles an hour. Not too many of those so far in the game tonight.
Shift on for Ryan Howard in the infield and the outfield. They move Betts over to right center. He goes swinging for that. 1-2. 40 pitches now for Porcello. Working to the first hitter of the 4th inning with Darren Ruff on deck.
Changing the eye location from down in the zone to up in the zone.
Howard gets the arms out of the way, and it just misses inside.
Trying to get that two-seam fastball to come back on the inside corner, but a little bit too high and just missing the corner.
Howard relatively close to the plate, and it's a ground ball. Diving is Pedroia. Gets up and throws out Ryan Howard. Nice play.
I tell you, it happens about once a game. That's all. I mean, the guy just continues to make play after play after play. We saw it on opening day. We see it again here where he takes a base hit. Even with the shift, if this ball gets by Pedroia, it's going to be a base hit. But he goes into the dive, rolls around on his back, gets up, and has time to throw Howard out at first base.
Collected his 4th Gold Glove award last year. Looking for another this year. 1 down, and it is up top for ball 1 to Darren Ruff.
I got to tell you, Don, infielders love playing behind a guy like Porcello because they know they're going to be busy throughout the course of the game.
The Red Sox have a few of those types.
Yes.
Ground ball pitchers.
Yes, they do.
Porcello with 1 out here in the 4th inning. Breaking ball on the ground, and Pedroia down to one knee, pops back up, throw low, and Napoli cannot dig it out. Not a good throw from Pedroia, who can't get it there in the air.
No, he makes the slide and makes the catch, and I think had a little bit more time to make the throw. No side-on flip to first base, did not get quite enough on it. And I think because he had to dive for it like that, he thought he had to rush a little bit, where probably he didn't have to.
Charged with the error is Dustin Pedroia. Ruff reaches with 1 out, and Cody Ashe the batter. Porcello will be trying to induce a double play here with yet another ground ball out. Ashe provided him a ground ball out in the 2nd inning, right back at him. And a nice play by Porcello. Runner started and stopped. Now ground ball to short. Bogaerts will go to 2nd for 1, and that's it. No throw to first base. And dropped on the transfer, according to Will Little, the second base umpire. As the ball did come free, but Darren Ruff is out at second base on the force out, 2 down.
You know, one of the problems there is that because it was left-handed hitter, look how far Pedroia is going to go to get to that bag. And as he comes across it, And he's really not in a good angle to make a throw at first base at all. And he had a handle on it, and on the transfer is when he dropped it. I mean, that was very close to could have been a drop ball and been safe.
Kudiak will be checked on at first base. The 50th pitch coming up here for Porcello. Throw to first and close again, but Ashley back this time, a little closer. I guess these are compliments of Tommy McLaughlin.
Yes, we have gloves and now we have hats, which we desperately need.
They're not going skiing.
Whoa, and we're
ready.
A hand warmer too.
Ooh. Jeff Francoeur batting with Ashe. And a very late timeout. Boy, Porcello was about to deal.
That's too late. That's too late right there to allow that to go.
A little bit low. So now we got
hats. We have gloves.
Gloves.
We have everything we need.
Can you wear a hat over a headset? Is that possible?
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness! I got a big dome anyway, but then you add a headset.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
One of those nights.
It's a 2X hat, I'm told. This is a foul tip.
2X.
Yes, it's for my dome. Tommy must have known what he was dealing with when he set this up. 2-1 the count with 2 outs. Chilly Philly. Chuck says that they had to sew 2 together. This is line foul. My friends in the truck. So for Francoeur, the single is first time up. I think you're not wearing yours.
I'm not. My head's really not that cold right now.
It's cold.
My hands are cold. The rest of me's cold.
I'm cold. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chop towards short. Bogarts will play the high hop. Shovel underhanded in time to get Ashe into end the inning. We are scoreless through 4, but we're warm now. 5.88 earned run average in 25 starts with Cleveland and St. Louis last year. David Buchanan last year with the Phillies, 6-8 with a 3.75 ERA in 20 starts. Closer Look is brought to you by FW Web, and for even closer look, visit FWWeb.com. So Justin Masterson will be getting the start, hopefully in better conditions than what we're dealing with here tonight as we head to the 5th inning. And Jerry, welcome to the going with the head. Nice, I like that.
I'm telling you, it's better.
It's much better.
There's no question. I was worried about messing up my hair, but I have no hair, so why worry?
Forget about your moss.
Forget about it. This is how we're going to do the hit. This is going to have we're going to do the recap like of the game. It's going to be just like this.
Some have said I look like a Smurf. What do you think? Mike Napoli struck out looking in the 2nd inning. 6 strikeouts for Harang. 3 hits for the Phillies so far, just 1 for the Red Sox. It was a 2-out single by Pablo Sandoval in the 4th inning. And a roller foul outside of third has Napoli down in the count 1-2. Fly ball to right field, playable for Francoeur. Looking up into the mist, makes the catch for the first out of the 5th inning. Well, tonight's suits are designed by Joseph Aboud, somewhere under these coats. Custom made in the USA from fine Italian fabrics, now available at Men's Warehouse. We have them on.
Yeah, we got
here.
Blue jackets over there.
Joseph Aboud.
Everything else is maybe I don't know who.
Daniel Nava with 1 out here in the 5th inning. He grounded out to the 2nd baseman Chase Utley in the 2nd. Now in cold conditions, you wear the mask thing back in your day when you played like a lot of these guys do?
No. Didn't have them. Used to try to wear extra, long johns, stuff like that. But it really made you feel, as I said earlier, constricted, and you hated to wear them. Mm-hmm. All the extra T-shirts But on nights like this stuff goes right through you.
In there for a strike, and it's 2-2. Ryan Hannigan on deck with 1 out here in the 5th inning. Breaking ball fouled off.
Yeah, a good pitching matchup so far between Harang and Porcello, both pitching their types of games. Porcello getting a lot of ground ball outs. Harang has to hit spots to be effective. Mix in that curveball. He's been able to do that.
70th pitch for Harang is popped up. Foul ground. Ashe will go as far as he can towards the seats, and he's got to play. Makes it in front of the railing for the 2nd out of the 5th inning. So 2 down in the inning. I want to remind you to join the 2020 Club and enjoy an affordable, fun night at Fenway Park. Groups of 20 or more start at $20 each. Visit redsox.com/groups for more information. 2 down here in the 5th inning, and that'll take us to Ryan Hannigan. He struck out swinging in the 3rd inning. Six strikeouts for Harang through the first 3 innings, but he's not had a strikeout since the 3rd. Breaking ball that misses, and it's a ball and a strike. The center fielder, Ben Revere, over towards right center, somewhat of a gap out there in left center. To right field, and back goes Francoeur. He will have room and make the catch shy of the track that ends the top of the 5th. Halfway through, still without a score in Philadelphia.
Joining the team earlier today, but after today he goes to Greenville, getting a rehab start, still coming back to the team from that bicep strain. John Farrell saying he needs about 95 more pitches in a rehab start before he's comfortable throwing him out there in a big league affair. So yes, while he's with the team now, he'll get a rehab start Saturday, opening the door for Stephen Wright to make his start in New York. Joe Kelly, if all things go well Saturday for him, he's lined up to get his first start back with the club August 17th back at Fenway. Gentlemen, quick question. Can I borrow your hat? Because it's like legit cold down here.
Yeah.
You got good hair, Gary.
Yeah, no.
You can't put a hat like this on.
Your moss keeps you warm. You're all set.
Guys, I'm willing to sacrifice that to keep my ears and the feeling in this region. Send it on down. I'll come up there.
Well, it's on to the bottom of the 5th inning. And I think the answer is no, right? We're not sharing hats.
No, not that I've had about. No.
Nope, there's not enough for everybody. As the pitch is going to miss inside to Freddie Galvis. Galvis retired 3-4-3, glancing off the glove in Napoli in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, boy, tonight's got a few of those high strike calls, which is surprising because most of the time when he pitches, the sights are set like down around the knees. But Cuzzy has given him a couple of high strikes in this ball game tonight.
The check swing foul. And Galvis down 1-2. And Harang, a strikeout victim back in the 3rd, will get his 2nd at bat coming up here. Three hits for the Philadelphia Phillies. 2 for Carlos Ruiz, 1 for Jeff Francoeur. A grounder foul keeps it at 1-2. For a delicious cup of coffee at the office, try W.B. Mason's coffee service featuring the Carrot Coffee System with Green Mountain Coffee. The 1-2 pitch. Galvis on a soft liner, diving forward as Bogaerts to make the catch. Well, Temple wasn't sure what he's going to do at first, a little indecisive, but he comes on to make the grab and picks it before it hits the dirt.
Yeah, those are really tough calls for infielders. I mean, do I stay back and play it on a bounce? And it's the way it's hit. It's spinning kind of a weird direction out there, but that time Bogart selects to come back in and play it in the air. Why let it bounce when you can make the play in the air? And that ball might have spun right away from him.
There is Aaron Harang. I was just going to say, it looked like he made the right decision because that thing hits with that much spin. So Bogart's picking it in the air for the first out of the inning. Harang, it's a soft grounder that Porcello will field on the run and flip to Napoli for out number 2. Friday live on Ness and Catch, the 2015 Hobie Baker Award ceremony. The Hobie Baker Award is the annual award given to the top NCAA men's ice hockey player. 3 finalists this year: BU's Jack Eichel, Harvard's Jimmy Vesey, and the University of North Dakota's Zane McIntyre. Tune in at 5 p.m. Friday to see if one of Boston's boys take the Hobie home. 2 outs in the 5th for Ben Revere, the top of the order for the Phillies. Ground out to second in the 1st, a fly out to center in the 3rd. Strike 1. And again, a few strides in on the grass at 3rd is Pablo Sandoval.
Few more curveballs featured in by Porcello over the last inning or so. Not too many early in the ball game, but a few more now. And as I mentioned, the curveball, tough to get a grip on it in cold weather like this.
To center field, Mookie Betts coming in, but that's going to fall right in front of him. He knocks it down to keep it in front of him, and it's a 2-out base hit for Ben Revere.
Yeah, even though Betts plays shallow out there in center field, he got a very good jump on the ball, but the ball not hit hard enough to get to Mookie Betts. Right toward the end of the bat for Ben Revere. Now he becomes a threat to steal at first base.
So 2 down. Revere, 145 thefts in his career and 180 attempts, just over 80%. Carlos Ruiz already has 2 hits against Porcello tonight. There he goes. The pitch is a strike. The throw is good and not in time. A stolen base for Revere. Got the hands in.
And that was an easy one to call right there. You're in a 0-0 ball game. There's hardly no offense. It's a cold night. You get a base runner like Revere on, he's going to try to steal second base and get in a scoring position, especially with 2 outs. Excellent jump at first base, head down all the way, didn't take a peek toward home plate, and the head first slide almost came off the bag.
Now Ruiz bats with a runner in scoring position. First base runner for either side to reach second base successfully in this game. '49 of them last year. The strike seemed to surprise him right down the middle, as it turns out. Chase Utley on deck with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Two and 2. Hits for Ruiz, a single to right field, an infield hit to second base.
Here's where you're an infielder right now. You've got to tell yourself, knock a ground ball down so that run can't score. If you've got to dive, you've got to dive and try to knock it down somehow if you have to.
bouncing in, and Hannigan off of him back towards the mound, and to third base goes Revere.
That sounded like contact, didn't it?
I thought it was contact with Hannigan and the mask, perhaps.
Yeah, it's only 3 balls, and the runner thought it was 4.
Yep, he's standing at first base. A wild pitch charged here.
Yeah, it does. Deflects off Hannigan out in front of home plate, and the base runner going to first base thought it was ball 4, Ruiz. Instead, it was only ball 3, but that man does get to third base on the wild pitch. That was a curveball attempted by Porcello.
Full count, 2 down, runner at third base. And there is ball 4. Down to first base goes Ruiz. Third time he's been on for the Phillies in this game. And the first free pass served up by Porcello. Well, tune in tonight after the game to NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. Elle and Nikki will have full coverage of Bruins caps and reaction from some of Boston's athletes to the marathon bombing verdict. See what know-how can do. 2 down, first and third. First opportunity really here for the Phillies. Chase Utley with that opportunity. With runners at first and third. He is 0 for 2 so far in the game. Revere at third, Ruiz at first. 2 down in the Phillies' 5th inning. And the strike call to Chase Utley.
Good job there by Porcello. He starts him off with a changeup. That's one of the last pitches you're looking for on the very first pitch from a pitcher. Looks like the curveball.
Utley taking the ball, and it's a ball and a strike.
Shook off every pitch from Hannigan. Wanted to go to the curveball and just missed. Fastball away, sinking away.
Instead, up and away.
Good reactions by Hannigan behind the plate to get to this, too. You're expecting the ball will be down from Porcello, and that one just takes off on him.
And Howard waiting on deck. 2 outs, first and third. First real opportunity for either side in this game comes here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And a swing and a miss.
Another changeup. Excellent pitch again. You know, Utley thinks he's in position to get a fastball on the 2-1 count. Instead, he gets the changeup. Back to the curveball.
And a swing and a miss. Porcello gets the big strike out there. The Phillies strand a pair. We're through 5 without a score. donation to Boston Children's Hospital towards a $25,000 commitment once again this season. CVS Pharmacy is the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. Now it is into the 6th inning we go. Phillies with a pretty good opportunity in the bottom of the 5th inning. Porcello working his way out of the jam. Bogarts, Porcello, and Betts expected here in the 6th inning as Aaron Harang has given up 1 hit to the first 5 back out on the hill. That's pitch number 74 for the Phillies right-hander. They only hit a single to center field for Pablo Sandoval. Bogarts looking for his first hit of the season. Grounded to the shortstop, Freddie Galvis, in the 3rd inning. Called the ball.
A lot of times that has been a strike tonight. Even with Porcello on the mound, it's been a strike.
Well, Bogarts late on that, a pitch that evens the count at 2-2. Porcello waiting on deck. He went around for strike 3. 7th strikeout for Harang. 1 down. You know, Jerry, a lot goes on here at the ballpark in between innings that our viewers at home don't see from time to time. And tonight we're going to have a special look coming up at the 3rd out of this inning of what goes on here at the ballpark.
What do you mean we're not going to go to a commercial?
Well, no, we will. We're going to give a look in between innings along with the commercial. You'll have to stay tuned to see how it all looks. But yes, to answer your question.
Right, looking forward to that.
Yes and no, to answer your question. We
Yes,
are going to
yes,
commercial, but
we're not going to commercial.
Not entirely.
Not entirely.
Some of it is still here. It's a ground ball wide of first. Seven strikeouts for Harang, and 5 in a row now retired. Porcello now, Betts next in this Red Sox 6th inning. 1 around. Strikes out, back-to-back Ks. Second time Porcello has struck out. So that is 8 strikeouts. Now you're a guy who knows what goes on in between innings because you've done that.
Yeah, like if I'm on like the offensive team, I get my glove and I go up the steps and I run in the field, take some ground balls, sort of first base. If I'm on the other team, if it's my time to hit, I get my batting gloves and my helmet and my bat. You know, there's all kind of stuff going on.
It's not downtime for you. It's downtime for us for the most part, but not for you if you're a player. Betts takes the strike. He is 0 for 2 in the game. He's flied out to the warning track in the left and then medium depth left. Both times up to the task, Darren Ruff. All right, trying to strike out the side as he jumps ahead here 0-2. Fly ball to right. Francoeur on the move. Has it sized up and puts it away. Let's find out now what goes on in between innings.
take ground balls, get loosened up. And that's, we got to see all that between innings. It was terrific.
Pablo Sandoval ready to flip the baseball here to Rick Porcello as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning.
It's like you never left the ballpark.
What's that?
Like you never left the ballpark.
No, they're here the whole time. Into the shift goes Sandoval on the right side here as they prepare for the arrival of Ryan Howard. 0 for 2 in the game. He has grounded out twice to the right side. Once to the first baseman Mike Napoli. Once to Dustin Pedroia at second base. Howard takes the strike. Phillies had first and third with 2 outs in the 5th inning. Ben Revere, the first member of either team to reach third base in this game. He was left there when Chase Utley struck out. Porcello has struck out 2. He's walked a batter, given up 4 hits. Sharply hit, but foul. The Nobis Red Sox first pitch presented by Joseph Abood, available at Men's Warehouse tomorrow at 6 p.m. TC and Steve Lyons will be joined by Rob Bradford and the MLB Notebook. Down and into Ryan Howard. Full count now. That's also shading Howard towards right center. Swing and a miss, and Howard with a big cut strikes out. Porcello closed the 5th with a strikeout of Utley, opens the 6th with a strikeout of Howard.
Yeah, and he did that by design too, because Howard has a tendency with a couple of strikes on him to chase high pitches. And you can see right here, instead of going down, he goes up in the strike zone, which is really against what Porcello's all about. But he does pick up the strikeout.
Make Insurance, great service, great coverage, and great price for auto, home, or life insurance. Darren Ruff takes strike 1. Ruff has grounded out to short, reached on an error committed by Dustin Pedroia. Throwing error back in the 4th inning. Rick Porcello's pitching line brought to you by Ace Tickets. 5 1/3, 4 hits, no runs, 83 pitches deep. Out, getting time at Porcello, not knowing the time had been called.
He's focused in.
Bill Cuzzy has the plate tonight. Didn't miss by a lot. 3-1.
A couple of pitches that really could have gone his way, but did not. And finds himself behind in the count now, 3-1.
Elevates and chasing to make it a full count.
You know, one thing hitters tell himself when they face a guy like Porcello, make him get the ball up, but not that high, especially on a 3-1 count.
Ball 4, and Ruff works the 1-out walk. Second walk allowed by Porcello. We'll get on the swing of baseball season. Download the Red Sox schedule today. Visiting NESA.com/schedule to import the 2015 schedule directly into your favorite desktop, web, or mobile calendar program. 1 out, 1 on. Cody Ashe 0 for 2 in the game. He's grounded back to the mound, reached on a fielder's choice. Red Sox infield at double play depth. Ashe 0 for 5 to begin the season.
One play you have to be aware of when you have a single ball pitcher on there like Porcello is the hit and run play.
Carved foul off to the left.
They induce so many ground balls that a lot of times managers will send runners and play hit and run to try to stay away from a double play.
Talking about earlier how mild-mannered Ryan Sandberg, at least the perception of him, is that way. Larry Bowa is certainly not that way, his bench coach.
Not that way as a player either.
No. In the dirt, and it's a ball and a strike.
A lot more curveballs, a lot more changeups here in the middle part of the ball game for Porcello.
There's Larry Bowa. I would say fiery. Would that be along those lines?
Yeah, I would call him fiery. There's no question about that. Back in uniform after some time on television.
Yes. He was very good on television in his time. Right back with a uniform on again. On the ground and through into right field. Ruff will stop at second, and the Phillies have runners at first and second with 1 down.
Ashe finding that hole between first and second. They did get induced the ground ball, but it finds the hole between Napoli and Pedroia. Again, topping that ball and getting it by Napoli. Runner Ruff had to hold up, so there's no chance he could go to third base. Had to make sure the ball didn't hit him.
Now Jeff Francoeur was one of the 5 Phillies hits in the game. His single back in the second inning. Grounded out in the 4th inning. Squibs one foul for strike 1. Action in the Red Sox pen for the first time, in either pen for that matter. Robbie Ross. Red Sox, of course, still without Koji Uehara, if you're thinking about late in this game. Hoping for a possible Monday return. As the pitch is high for a ball, and it's 1-1. Francoeur always known for his arm in right field. A number of outfield assists when he has been in the major leagues. And of course, last opening day start was in Kansas City for him. Drives one towards deep left center field. Ramirez back, and that is up off the top of the wall, gone. Home run, a 3-run job for Jeff Francoeur, and the Phillies, just like that, lead it 3-0. Welcome back to the bigs for Jeff Francoeur in a big way in a Phillies uniform.
Looked like a hanging cut fastball that time from Porcello. You see where Hannigan set up away? That ball stays inside, and Francoeur likes the ball from the middle end. And that was against the wind, too. It was knocked down some.
So a 3-0 lead for the Phillies, their first runs of the season. They were blanked on opening day here by the Red Sox. Freddie Galvis now bats 0 for 2 in the game. Walk, a single, then the home run by Francoeur. Now a drive out towards deep center field. Betts was playing shallow, but he will get back to make the catch for the second out of the inning. Jerry talked about his positioning in the outfield, wanting to play shallow, and it does appear he goes back on balls very well.
Well, that's what they tried to teach him in spring training. They wanted him to play shallow and get comfortable on going back on fly balls. Now that time was kind of a strange route. He went across and then back, but he has to kind of pick up speed where he can make up the difference and make those plays. And I got to tell you, as a pitcher, you look out there and you see a guy playing that shallow, you love it because it takes away a lot of base hits. And as a hitter, you don't like it because it takes away a lot of base hits.
But there are some center fielders who cannot go back on the ball that well. And they play deeper. For years we saw B.J. Upton was recently traded out to the San Diego Padres from the Braves, a guy who could go very well back and play very shallow for a number of years in Tampa.
That just amazes me how quickly Betts has picked that up.
Yeah, a guy who was at second base for the Portland Sea Dogs last year at this time.
That is not an easy transition to make. And you would think making that you would play deep and have everything in front of you, but no.
100th pitch of the night for Porcello is fouled off by his counterpart, Aaron Harang. Harang has struck out, grounded back to the mound, and now the proud owner of a 3-0 advantage thanks to Jeff Francoeur. Strike 3 call. 4th strikeout. Damage already done. Jeff Francoeur's 3-run home run puts the Phillies on top 3-0. Your low fare now at Southwest.com. One of the last additions to the Phillies roster out of spring training, Jeff Francoeur. It's a 3-run home run. Dominic Brown starts the year on the DL for the Phillies. Jeff Francoeur gets back to the big leagues and making the Red Sox pay here tonight with his 3-run shot in the bottom of the 6th. Dustin Pedroia leads it off. Red Sox have work to do here as we shift to the 7th inning. Pedroia struck out in the first, flied out to right in the fourth inning. Harang has struck out 8 in this game. As the pitch in there for a strike. We'll take a look at his pitching line in its entirety thanks to our Eastern Lexus dealers. The one hit, a single by Pablo Sandoval back in the fourth inning.
And you can see that fastball. I mean, there's not a lot of movement on it. It's just a pretty straight fastball, but he's been able to pick up the corners with it. Very few have been down the middle of the plate.
He works here with double-barreled action behind him in the pen. Diekman and Gomez both worked in the game on Monday for the Phillies, and both up here as this top of the seventh inning begins. Joy kind of late on that, fouls it off to the right. It was 90 miles an hour.
Well, they have really been staying away from Pedroia tonight, haven't they?
Yes, they have. Saw enough of what he can do when you work him inside in game 1 of the series. Bouncing in for ball 3. Pedroia pops it up foul. That'll get back and out of play. Monday, April 27th is Replica Fenway Park night at Fenway. All fans in attendance will receive a free replica model of Fenway Park presented by WB Mason. Visit redsox.com/promos for more information and to purchase your tickets now. A lot of Red Sox fans here tonight at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. There is a walk to Pedroia to start the top of the seventh inning. Let's grab a game break brought to you by Jordan's Furniture, the store of the Boston Red Sox. Tom Caron. All right, Tom, thanks very much. Welcome back to Philadelphia, where the Phillies have a 3-0 lead and a strike call to Pablo Sandoval. Carlos Ruiz heading out to talk to Harang.
I think he might have got crossed up on that pitch, which is very rare without a man at second base. He's taking a little extra time for himself because that ball did bounce out of the glove and probably got a piece of his fingers.
Sandoval fouls it back, 0-2. 94 pitches now for Harang. Sandoval has the only Boston hit on the night. A single in the fourth inning. Pedroia becoming just the second base runner of the night for the Red Sox with this leadoff walk. An 8 strikeout performance to this point by Harang. Hanley Ramirez waiting on deck. On the ground and through into right field, a base hit for Sandoval. Pedroia takes second hit of the night for the Panda.
Well, he came into the game only a 192 hitter against Harang, but 2 for 3 tonight. He struck him out back in the first inning, but since then 2 base hits, a line drive up the middle. As Pedroia checking Butterfield to see if he can go to third or not. And with Frank Corzam out there, no, you don't want to try that, especially down by 3.
Hanley Ramirez 0 for 2 in the game. Struck out swinging in the second, grounded out to first base in the fourth. Red Sox Nation being heard from here in Philadelphia. Phillies fans trying to drown them out. Well, after the 2 home runs on Monday, Ramirez would love to pick up his 3rd home run of the year and even this game at 3. Pedroia at second base. Sandoval at first base.
5 career home runs against Harang.
Popped up, foul ground. Ryan Howard can't make the catch. Kind of circled around it. Took an interesting route and then couldn't catch it.
Yeah, that's a bad play by Howard. I mean, that's a big break for the Red Sox because that should be an out. Howard took the wrong direction, and got to know the way the wind's blowing. The wind's blowing that ball back toward third base. Well, back toward home plate, I should say. And Howard really makes it look like a difficult play than it was not.
Gives Hanley Ramirez another chance, albeit down 0-2. Fouled off himself. Walk to Pedroia. A single to Sandoval. Ramirez batting. Happily not on the on-deck circle, but in the dugout.
There might be a heater down there to keep him warm.
Too far outside. 1-2.
I must say it is unusual to have a guy in the on-deck circle because you're responsible on a base hit to let a guy know at second base whether he's got to slide or stand up coming into home plate
from the dugout.
It's tough to do it from that spot there. Yeah.
Close. Phillies fans don't like it, but it's 2-2.
That ball definitely inside. Ramirez is jumping back. I mean, didn't miss by very much. Good pitch, but certainly inside.
The runners, Pedroia at second, Sandoval at first. 2-2 pitch. That is fouled off. The at-bat continues as Ramirez will see his 7th pitch. Over 100 pitches now. In the dirt and a full count.
He goes back to a curveball, and it was a curveball that he struck Ramirez out on back in the 2nd inning. That one not even close, and it runs to count full.
Two on, nobody out. Boston's 7th inning. Red Sox trailing 3-0. Ramirez grounds it foul. Will do it again. Instead of Ryan Howard making the catch at foul ground, Harang has had to work very hard, nearing the end of his outing.
Now this might be the last guy.
Gomez and Diekman warming in the pen for the Phillies. They have been for the entire inning. To center field. Ben Revere on the move, and he'll get there. What a running catch. He covered all kinds of ground as the wind knocked that ball down. He made the adjustment. Wow, 1 out.
Now we know the kind of speed that Revere has hitting out of that leadoff spot, and here he shows it in center field. Again, it's so difficult, you know, that wind blowing so hard tonight, knocking the ball down. But Revere's able to track it down.
And with that, Ryan Sandberg makes his way to the mound. Harang gives him 6 1/3, and Harang has got the look of a guy who doesn't want to go anywhere. "105 pitches for him. And that will be the night. So a pitching change here in the 7th inning. 3-0 Philadelphia. Federal Credit Union tomorrow at 6:30. Tom Caron and Steve Lyons will have a special all access with Brock Holt and much more. DCU Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? All access with Brock Holt tomorrow. And Brock on the bench tonight. Phillies leading the Red Sox 3-0 with 1 out here in the 7th inning. And Aaron Harang pitched very well for the Phillies tonight in his debut.
Well, he did. A lot of strikeouts, especially early in the game for him. We'll take a look at the last 4 that he had, and he was able to pinpoint that fastball a number of times away from the right-handed hitters. He gets Porcello there on a breaking ball. Back to a fastball away from Bogarts. Fastball away again. So a very nice night for a guy that's been well traveled.
2 on, 1 away. Genmar Gomez into the game now for the Phillies. Last year with the Pirates, 44 appearances, 2-2 with a 3.19 earned run average, 38 Ks, but 23 walks. And opponents hit at .292 against Gomez. He will miss for ball 1 to Mike Napoli, who is 0 for 2 in the game tonight. Striking out in the 2nd, looking, flying out to right in the 5th. 44 appearances for Gomez last year with the Pirates, a career high. And did go 2 innings in 23 of the 44 appearances, so he could be a multi-inning guy for Ryan Sandberg. Napoli 0 for 2 in his career against Gomez. A walk and a strikeout. Two and 1. Rang responsible for the 2 men on. Pedroia at second base, who walked. Sandoval, who singled. Daniel Nava on deck. Red Sox trying to answer the 3 runs the Phillies put together in the bottom half of the 6th inning. 3-1.
Right now, Napoli's going to narrow that strike zone down and should narrow it down from middle of the plate in. Something that he can drive. He got one too. He did get a pitch in, but he's out in front of it and pulls it foul. It's tough to go to the opposite field for a home run tonight, the way the wind's blowing. So you look middle in, try to hit one in that left field direction.
Napoli pops it up, foul ground, and that'll get back into the seats. Luis Garcia has joined Jake Diekman in the pen. After the Phillies starter gives him 6 1/3. Red Sox pen busy as well. Robbie Ross continuing to warm up. Porcello, 101 pitches through 6 innings, and of course gave up the 3-run home run to Frank Core last inning. On the ground, foul.
Been some long at bats in this inning. Ramirez, now Napoli.
This will be the 8th pitch of this at bat for Napoli. Rang responsible for the 2 men on. Napoli lines out to the shortstop, who will turn it into 2. Freddie Galvis there to make the catch. They'll get Pedroia at second. Gomez out of the jam. Phillies on top 3-0.
inning, a line drive. You see Pedroia taking his secondary lead and then a couple of steps toward third base, and he's out easily at second. Now, the only way you prevent that when you're behind in a ball game is not to take a secondary lead. You just take your normal lead at the position at the base and do not take a secondary lead. As soon as contact's made, you freeze and then you return to the bag. But in that case, it was his first is a normal lead, a secondary lead, a few steps toward third, and becomes an easy double play victim.
Good pitcher for the Red Sox is Robbie Ross Jr. 27 games, 12 starts with the Rangers. 3-6 a year ago with a 6.20 earned run average. Well, it's hit at .319 against Ross. Fourth career opening day roster for him. First, of course, with the Red Sox. First 6 years of his pro career with the Rangers organization. Worked as a reliever first 2 years of his major league career. 2.62 as an ERA as a reliever. That's where he is with the Red Sox. 150 career appearances, 138 in relief. Ken Giles warms now in the Phillies pen. Ross was up a couple times Monday, didn't get in. Revere, Ruiz, Utley here in the bottom of the 7th inning. On the ground to third base, Sandoval to his left. Low throw that gets by Napoli. Revere can run, and he's headed for second base, maybe beyond. He's thinking third. Throw from Napoli is not going to be in time. That's what speed will do for you after the errant throw.
Now, second error of the night for the Red Sox, and this one very costly as Sandoval makes the play on the ground ball and just throws it away at first base. By the time Napoli can track it down, look at Revere. He's thinking about third base right now. He takes a peek back, no hesitation, and then they had to block the ball over there at third base. So the Red Sox now have to pull that infield in.
The error to Sandoval, runner at third, nobody out. Carlos Ruiz has been on base 3 times in this game. 2 singles and a walk. Almost got away. Hannigan going to the backhand.
That'd be heads up for a squeeze play in this situation too. Forget about it now with the count 1 and 2.
Infield in all the way around. The outfield also in on a 1-2 pitch. Ruiz waves at it, and Robbie Ross gets it by him for strike 3. A big out there, 1 down.
Now, let me explain why I thought they might do that in that situation, Don. Is because Red Sox are a little bit rattled. They just make an error. Man ends up at third base. You got Ross on the mound, a lefty against a righty. And then you got coming up Utley and Howard, 2 left-handed hitters. So it kind of screams squeeze play to me.
Keep the pressure on.
Yes, exactly. When the other team's down like that and makes mistakes, it's almost a perfect time to call for it.
1 out, 90 feet away is Revere. Utley 0 for 3 in this game. And takes ball 1. Utley has grounded into a fielder's choice, flied out to center. Last time up, struck out swinging. All of that was against the Red Sox starter tonight. Rick Porcello worked the first 6 innings of this game and is currently on the hook. 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs allowed by Porcello. The big blast, the 3-run home run by Francoeur. He walked 2, struck out 4 in his Red Sox debut. loss, falls behind 3-0.
I know it's lefty against lefty, but Utley may have green light here, 3-0.
Ryan Howard on deck. Swing and a miss, he did.
He's your better hitter right now, and has been over the last year than the guy on deck, so why not? The only problem is he swung at a pitch that was not a strike.
I was going to say, not a great pitch to swing at, 3-0. Revere at third base. Drive this to right. Nava going back onto the track to make the catch. Plenty deep enough for Revere to tag and jog home with the Phillies' fourth run of the night, and Philadelphia takes a 4-0 lead. Utley gets the job done on the deep sac fly to right.
Well, he got a fastball middle in, and he turned it around in a hurry against the wind and still hit it a long way. Runner on third base, no problem there leaving early, because that ball sits so deep you could just cruise home.
2 outs, bases empty. Red Sox into the shift now on Ryan Howard, with Sandoval coming to the right side of the infield. That'll drop in there for strike one over the inside corner. Howard didn't like it. Look at the shift as they stack it up. Oh, and 2. Not close. That RBI by Utley ties Jimmy Rollins for 8th most in Phillies history. With that sac fly to right, scored Ben Revere. A 1-2 pitch inside. So a costly error, no doubt, for Sandoval in this inning that gets Revere to third base and give the Phillies an opportunity to add some insurance to their total, which they have. Strike 3 call over the inside corner. A run for Philadelphia through 7. The Phillies lead it 4-0. Fair on Southwest.com. Your New England Subaru dealers. Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? and by Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. Thank you, New England, for 60 great years. 8th inning back in Philadelphia, 4-0. The Phillies have the lead, out hitting the Red Sox 6-2. Some changes for the Phillies as we play along to the 8th inning. Odubel Herrera takes over in center field. He got the start here on Monday in center field, and he now comes in defensively. Moving from center to left is Ben Revere. And coming from left into first base is Darren Ruff. As Howard leaves this game, and as part of the switch into the game now, a right-hander for the Phillies, their third pitcher of the game, as Ken Giles takes over here in the 8th inning. 44 appearances, 3-1 with a 1.18 earned run average. Opponents hitting at 164 against Giles. Herrera will now bat in the pitcher spot, 9th, as part of this double switch. As the pitcher spot now where Ryan Howard was, which was 4th in the Phillies order. Daniel Nava gets his first start of the year, and tonight has gone 0 for 2, a ground out and a foul out. Giles taking over for Genmar Gomez, who went 2/3 of an inning and got that big double play to get out of the first and second 1-out jam in the 7th inning. And Aaron Harang, the starter, still the pitcher of record right now for the Phillies. Ground ball to the backhand is Ruff, and reaching at first is Nava. So from left field to first base is Ruff, and he cannot handle it cleanly, and Nava's aboard.
Now you take base runners now any way you can get them. If they want to give you a gift, you take it. And that certainly was a gift right there. That should have been the first out of the inning. Ruff goes to the backhand. It clanks off the glove, and Nava ends up at first base. He went down low. I mean, he got the glove down there, just couldn't make the play.
So the miscue, Nava reaching at first base, and Ryan Hannigan 0 for 2 in the game, striking out swinging in the 3rd, flying out to right in the 5th. And a 94-mile-an-hour fastball that grabs his attention up and in. The mist is back with us again here at Citizens Bank Park. Precipitation had departed, but now has returned. Strike one. Coldest game last year was April 13th at Chicago, 40 degrees. And we were at 40 degrees earlier in this game. It may have dipped down. Yeah, we're at 40 right now. 1-1. High for ball 2. Throwing hard but missing. 95-mile-an-hour fastball above the strike zone.
Yeah, maybe overthrowing just a little bit. Couple of high fastballs for Giles.
Xander Bogaerts waiting on deck. Strike call, 2-2. Got a live arm. Ken Giles, first time we've seen him on the season, did not pitch on Monday in the opener. Working the 8th inning with a 2-2 pitch. Hannigan fouls it off to the right out of play. Well, Nesson is looking for youth baseball and softball teams to be a live studio audience for Nesson Clubhouse on select Sundays this baseball season. Visit NessonClubhouse.com and click on Studio Audience to enter your son or daughter's team. The experience includes a pizza party before and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be an active part of the studio audience. up again. Full count. Ball 4, and he walks Hannigan. So the tying run, well, actually not the tying run now. The Phillies getting another run last inning. So the tying run will be on deck here for the Red Sox with Hannigan going down to first. And we will have a Bogarts coming up here and a visit to the mound here for Bob McClure, the pitching coach for the Phillies. An error and a walk has led to first and second with nobody out. Well, spring is here, not necessarily in Philadelphia, but it's here. And so are specifically priced Red Sox student tickets. Tickets are available for every Sox game for just $9 for all students 15 and over. Visit redsox.com/students to take advantage of this great offer today. 2 on, nobody out, and Xander Bogaerts coming up. Bogaerts 0 for 2. Grounded out short in the 3rd, struck out swinging in the 6th. Close would call the ball. Manager and pitching coach conferring. Bogaerts takes the strike, and it's a ball and a strike. Xander looking for his first hit of the year. 0 for 5.
It's really the first pitch that Giles has thrown. It looked like he really followed through on it and threw it right down the heart of the plate for a strike.
Nava at second, Hannigan at first. An error and a walk. Bogaerts lines a fair ball down the left field line. Nava being waved around. He will score. And the Red Sox are on the board. It's now 4-1 Philadelphia. So Xander Bogaerts on his first hit of the season drives in the Red Sox first run of the night.
And Bogaerts gets a breaking ball. Now here's a guy that throws 95 miles an hour, and he elects to go to the slider to Bogaerts, and Bogaerts did a great job staying in on it. Right past the third baseman, drives in a run, picks up his first RBI of the season, and the Red Sox finally get a run.
And now the tying run at the plate. It'll be Big Papi who'll be coming up to pitch hit.
And there's no action, no left-handed action going on down in the bullpen for the Phillies.
Big Papi introduced as he limbers up on deck. David got the start of the first game here on Monday. Represents the tying run at the plate in this pinch hitting appearance in the 8th. Oh for 4 on Monday. No shift on here for Ortiz right now. He's got something in his eye. Takes a look at strike one at the bottom of the zone at 95. First time Giles has been able to get that thing down.
Exactly right. Everything else has been up above the bell and around the shoulders.
Ball and a strike to Big Papi. Red Sox have been held to 3 hits. Helped out a little bit this inning by the error at first base by Ruff that started all this. Top of the order, Mookie Betts. Swing and a miss for Ortiz, and another pitch down.
Well, that's a good slider that time. The one to Bogarts kind of hung out over the plate. This one is down around the ankles of David Ortiz.
Hannigan at second. Bogarts at first, and a 1-2 pitch. Ortiz strikes out. Big strikeout for Giles. Ortiz down by way of the K.
Yeah, stayed with the off-speed stuff after getting ahead of David Ortiz. Back to the breaking ball, completely fooling Big Papi. Cannot control the head of the bat. And the first out of the inning comes as a strikeout.
Two on, one out. Back up top now for Mookie Betts. Held hitless in this game after 2 hits on Monday. He'll take strike one. Double-barreled action for the Red Sox. Agondo and Vivaro up in the pen. Back to the gas for Giles.
Once again, that high fastball from Giles. It's been breaking balls down, fastballs up.
Just outside.
I'll tell you what, Mookie Betts is fortunate to still be standing there. It is going to be a little bit outside, but with 2 strikes, that's one you got to be very careful with as a hitter.
Popped up, foul, and out of play. Red Sox had 1 base runner through the first 6 innings. Just a single by Pablo Sandoval. Since then, they've had 5 of them, 2 on right now. And a fly ball to short right. Late break for Francoeur, but he'll get there. Throws to first a little bit late. Tried to nab Bogarts at first base and nearly did. He kind of double pumped in his effort.
Here's that breaking ball again, and Mookie Betts is hoping it's going to drop in, but Francoeur covers the ground. And then the release to first base, not in time to get Bogarts, who was hanging out about maybe 15 feet away from first base.
Two on, 2 down. Dustin Pedroia's opportunity here. A strikeout looking in the first, fly to right in the 4th inning before he walked in the 7th. Hannigan at second. Bogarts at first. Pedroia takes a hack at the high fastball and evens a count of 1-1. Pablo Sandoval on deck. There are 2 outs here in the 8th. Phillies getting 3 runs in the 6th, a run in the 7th. Red Sox getting their first run here in the 8th. Up again, 3-1.
I'll tell you one thing, Giles is not making it look easy out there.
Ball 4, and he walks Pedroia. Second walk of the inning allowed by Giles, and this loads the bases. Well, don't miss WB Mason extra innings live right after the game. Tom Eck and Steve Lyons will have post-game reaction from John Farrell and Rick Porcello. Can't go wrong when you buy right at WB Mason.
I'll tell you, when you're coming out of the bullpen and you got a lead the way that Giles has a lead, and to be walking a couple of guys in this inning really is unacceptable. It's given the Red Sox an opportunity.
Tying run at first base as Pablo Sandoval has 2 hits already tonight. Yeah, it takes ball 1. That'll bring Ruiz to the mound. Be joined by the shortstop Galvis. They're trying to build the bridge to get to the closer, Jonathan Papelbon, who is warming in the pen. Not close, 2-0. There is no reason not to be patient right now with Giles.
Well, you don't have a very patient hitter at the plate either in Sandoval. I mean, you never know what he's going to swing at.
Three and 0.
And these aren't even tempting.
No, they're getting further away.
Yeah, these pitches are not even close.
Ruiz out again, buying more time. "16 balls thrown in this inning by Giles. And that's not close. Wow. Brings in a run with the bases loaded. It's now 4-2. Third walk of the inning allowed by Giles.
I mean, how long can they stay with him? They just can't. He's all over the place. He's not even close.
The slow walk to the mound here for Sandberg. He'll take the baseball. The pitching change. The game's in the balance right now. Papelbon will be coming in. presented by Uno's. Tom Eck and Steve Lyons will have a special Pablo Sandoval all-access segment, plus highlights from around the majors.
You don't like it?
Well, this has become interesting. The Red Sox trail 4-0 coming into the 8th inning, and they're being handed some opportunities here, and they take advantage of them.
This is a gift inning. It's all started with an error. You've got 3 walks in the inning, only 1 base hit for the Red Sox. That was by Bogarts, and the Red Sox right back in this ball game.
39 out of 43 last year for Papelbon. And in here looking for 4 outs, as it turns out, in this opportunity. Comes in a bases loaded situation. Tying run in scoring position with Hanley Ramirez now at the plate, 0 for 3 tonight. All of that was against Aaron Harang. Since then we saw Gomez and Giles, and now Papelbon. Somewhere Harang is pacing in the clubhouse. Strike 1. Old for 3 in his career with a strikeout against Papelbon. High fly ball to left field. Revere going back onto the track will make the catch. Hanley Ramirez made a bid for his 2nd grand slam of the year. Not this time. Papelbon gets the big out. The Red Sox get 2 runs. Toyota play of the game, and it is the 3-run home run by Jeff Francoeur, kind of the last man on the roster for the Phillies out of spring training. He takes Rick Porcello out of the yard for a 3-run shot, which gave the Phillies a 3-0 advantage. They'll tack on another run and right now have a 4-2 lead.
I got to tell you, Don, I thought that last at bat by Hanley Ramirez was a home run.
I did
when
too.
that ball left the bat, it looked like it had enough to be a home run. It was a slider by Papelbon, not a very good one, but the wind just absolutely knocked that ball down. And I think the whole Red Sox dugout, including Hanley Ramirez, thought that ball was gone when he made contact.
Not tonight. Under these conditions. Now making his Red Sox debut, Alexi Agondo. 27 games last year with Texas, 2-3 with a 6.84 earned run average. Healthy again this year. And a swing and a miss for strike 1 for Darren Ruff. Jerry, this is a guy we did not see all of spring training work. It was Alexi Ogando. None of the games we did.
Not one game that we did we see Ogando work. I saw him throw on the side.
Plenty of times with the Texas Rangers over the years against the Red Sox, but did not appear in any of our games during the spring.
He is basically a fastball slider type pitcher.
Swing and a miss. 95 on the strikeout of Ruff for the first out of the bottom of the 8th.
And that's what he can do. I mean, if he's healthy, he can get it up there 95, 96 miles an hour and strike you out. He has that kind of ability.
And right elbow inflammation last year, missing the final 4 months of the season. Kobayashi 1 for 3 in the game. It's a fly ball to left field. Playable for Hanley Ramirez. Wynn plays with it, but he makes the recovery, and there are 2 outs.
That almost turned into an adventure out there in left field, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Battling the rain, battling the wind. Hanley comes in, goes back, goes to his right, and stops.
2 down here in the 8th inning. Jeff Francoeur just showed you his big 3-run home run back in the 6th inning. Has another hit tonight and a single back in the 2nd. 2 for 3 game for the Phillies right fielder. First opening day roster since 2013 with the Kansas City Royals. The Phillies are his 7th major league team. In there for a strike. There's a breaking ball, 1-2.
Yeah, that was a curveball that time from Ogando. We've seen the fastball, we've seen the slider, and now we've seen the curveball.
Francoeur hits a fly ball out to center field. Mookie Betts, as the wind knocks it down, comes in now and makes the catch that ends the 8th. We're on to the 9th. The Red Sox trail by 2. Mike Napoli will lead it off when we come back. was very good over 6 1/3 innings. Ended up with 8 strikeouts in his outing. Still the pitcher of record. The bullpen for the Phillies not helped him out too much. Only giving up 2 hits in those 6 1/3 innings of work. The number 2 starter in the Phillies rotation. Well, the game summary tonight brought to you by Xfinity. Look at the Red Sox starters numbers. Rick Porcello, 6 innings, 6 hits. The 3-run home run that he allowed to Jeff Francoeur. Francoeur 2 for 4 in the game with the home run. Ruiz 2 for 3 with a couple of singles in the game. Jonathan Papelbon needing 4 outs for the save tonight. For the Phillies, closer has one of those 4 outs, and it was a loud out to end the 8th. Into the 9th, and Mike Napoli to lead it off for Boston. He'll take ball 1. Swing and a miss.
See the velocity on Papelbon's fastball, 91 miles an hour. That's down considerably from when he was a member of the Red Sox.
But better than it was at times last year.
Yeah, he was in the upper 80s.
Yeah. Elevates and misses at 92. One for 3 is Napoli against Papelbon in his career. Walk and a strikeout. On the corner. Where is Papelbon going?
Yeah, he thinks it's strike 3. I mean, 3 strikes in this league, Pap. You've known that for a long time.
I think he thought that first pitch at the bottom of the zone was called a strike, maybe. Turned his back on the plate, went into the stroll around the field, and instead now has to deal with Napoli again. The count of 2-2. Wow. Napoli lucky to still be at the plate.
Yeah, threw him a slider again. Quite a few sliders for Papelbon since being in this game. And Napoli very fortunate still to have another pitch to look at.
It's a high fly ball to left field. Then Revere staggers and puts it away for out number 1 of the 9th inning. This was Papelbon with strike 2. He thought it was strike 3.
Now one's trying to make it a 2-strike league.
Whoops. Wait, there's more. I got to do more. Now Daniel Nava, 0 for 3 in the game. He's grounded out to second base. Fouled out to third. Reached on the error in the 8th inning that started the 8th. Lead to 2 Red Sox runs in the 8th. As he takes strike 1. Papelbon 16th on Major League Baseball's all-time save list. 325 saves. And the most saves still in Red Sox history.
That's the first splitter that he's featured since being in the ballgame. It's been mostly fastball slider. That time he tries to split, but he can't get it. He can't get a chase from Nava.
Chases 1-2. Fastball up.
Well, he goes from the splitter that's down almost in the dirt to the fastball that's up above the shoulders.
helping out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Papelbon getting Ramirez for the final out of the 8th inning with the bases loaded. Gets Napoli to fly out for the first out of the 9th inning. Shakes off one and is ready with a 2-2 pitch to Nava. Shallow left. Galvis out, Revere in and over, and Revere makes the catch. First 2 catches of the 9th, and all 3 catches for Papelbon so far since coming in. Ryan Hannigan with 2 outs in the 9th. He walked in the 8th and scored the 2nd Red Sox run. There's a walk to Sandoval. He picked up the RBI, the bases loaded walk. We are to continue. We'll take something from Hannigan as Bogaerts waits on deck. High strike, very high.
That's not a strike. That ball's up and out of the strike zone. But, you know, Cuzzy tonight has been calling some high strikes, and especially earlier in the ballgame.
Two balls and a strike to Hannigan. Orang, the pitcher record right now for the Phillies, who went 6 1/3 shutout pitching tonight in the game. Rick Porcello on the hook in his Red Sox debut. Fouled off to the right, and it's 2-2. In case the Red Sox have action in the pen, Edward Mujica and Craig Breslow. Mujica no longer. Two-two pitch to Ryan Hannigan. Very defensive swing. Took that one out of the catcher's mitt.
It's going to be
his interference.
Yeah, catcher's interference. Yep.
But he literally took it out of his mitt. And reaching out was Ruiz. So the Red Sox bring the tying run to the plate on the catcher's interference.
I tell you, the Red Sox have got some base runners in some very strange ways in the last couple of innings. You see the bat of Hannigan hitting the catcher's glove, and then the ball coming out of the catcher's mitt.
So Xander Bogaerts represents the tying run and fouls it off to the right for strike one. The Phillies on a couple of occasions trying to hand this game to the Red Sox. An error, 3 walks in the 8th inning. Led to 2 Red Sox runs. Brock Holt has come out on deck. Bogaerts fouls it back, down 0-2. And the Phillies faithful to their feet. Swing and a miss. Papelbon strikes out Bogaerts. Game over. Well, they needed 4 outs from Jonathan Papelbon. They do indeed get the 4 outs from Papelbon, who secures the save. And the Red Sox drop their first game of the year as Philadelphia beats Boston 4-2 in